So good evening all you beautiful people. Today I'm going to take a trip down memory lane. I'm going to rearrange this whole space and I was thinking of maybe putting some knitting yarns into this basket. What do you call it? In any case, into that. So I need to take everything out of it and I noticed there are some memories in here. So let's take a look of all the things I have done to this day. Some of these embroideries are so old that I don't even remember which program I made them with. Some are with the program Stitch Era and others are with the drawings, and there might be another program that I don't just remember. But there are also some embroideries that I have bought, like this one, I'm not very good at making anything out of freestanding lace, so every time you see a freestanding lace here, it is not mine. It's from Urban Threads. But then these I have actually digitized myself, and I was thinking of making something that I would put these on. I do recall that I wanted to sew these on some sort of slippers at some point. So these are just felt pieces that I've embroidered, and these are just some stock images of leaves that I used for making an embroidery. But I think the heart is drawn by me because it's a funny shaped heart, the kind I like to draw. And there's more of those. I made them in different sizes as well, as you can see. And then I have been approached by many people. I used to have a company, I have told you that already. So when I had a company, I made all these embroidered pieces for people and they would give me money for them. So this is for a LAN party, so local area network party, for the local University of Applied Sciences. As you can see, it didn't work out very well, so that's why I kept this piece. And this one I just kept because I wanted to remember what I have made. And this one, I don't remember what happened, but in the end I had to try to use bleach and it took all the color of this thread, and so I couldn't give this to the customer, so I ended up keeping it. And it's funny to remember all the things I've made. This was not a commissioned piece. We showed our art pieces in the library and someone drew this as a logo for that gathering. And I was going to make everyone who attended, every artist, one of these, but I ended up making it so thick that it took forever to embroider, and I was like, forget about it. I have embroidered this on pleather, so I made small holes on it so that you could sew it onto something. And I have made so many of these laces that it's not even funny. I actually tried selling them at some point, but people wouldn't buy. So that's why I have loads of them. And apparently more of the leaves here. This is a picture I drew when I was very small, I think maybe 16 or 17 years old or something. I was just going through my sketchbook and thinking of what I could make into an embroidery, and I picked this, and I think it turned out fabulous. This I drew also when I was quite small, maybe 13, 14 years old. It's a death penguin, and I actually do love this image as well. I might have to make other embroideries based on these. And this is my hedgehog, also from an old sketchbook. And this isn't so old, I drew this in 2010 or something. And it's just a line drawing. This was a bit more tricky to make into an embroidery because it had those yeah, I think I like it also. And this one I drew also by hand first, and then I digitized it. The dark area might be a bit too dark, maybe. Maybe I just didn't have the correct colors to use with it. And this is a rose I digitized. This I do remember I made it with the Stitch Era program. I was so into that program because I could make the stitches look just as fantastic as I want to. So it really made the outcome was just as fantastic as I wanted it to be. And this is just an old piece of cloth. So but I don't think I even have this embroidery anymore, so I might need to digitize that again. And this was drawn by a friend. I love it, it's so cute. And I actually might have this on my website as a freebie. Another one of the lace pieces made by Urban Threads. So this is supposed to be a mask, but I don't really like it. I tried adding some bling to it, but yeah, it's not very nice. And the beak should be a bit more pointy, but I actually you should sew this up by hand, and I ended up just putting it under the sewing machine foot, so it came out a bit wrong. And here's a seam also. So when you embroider this, you embroider 3 parts, and sew here and here, and then there's nice holes for the whatchamacallit, Well, for these satin pieces. And these might just be... Oh no! They're embroideries too! Oh my gosh! So these are all urban threads. I love this guy. I think it came out very great. And this one is annoying to stitch because it has so many stitches that the fabric wants to start wrinkling up. Like there's a wrinkle and there. And it wants to shift away. So luckily this is actually kind of okay. And then there's this piece, which looks amazing. And this is also urban threads. This is an embroidery I made with 4D embroidery extra. So that's the embroidery software you can buy from Husqvarna. This was made by it also. As you can see, the stitches aren't as nice, but it's okay. It's not the worst. Because, you know, it's automated. It's all automated. So when you give the machine a chance to do it by itself, it can go wrong. And these both images are just drawn by me. I drew them by hand with a black marker onto a white paper, and then I scanned it. And this is how it made with the automation tool. So this looks kind of horrible. And these are actually made by me by hand. So I have been studying these also. They're actually kind of awesome, I think. I made these like I was 19 years old, so 2006, 2007, something like that. These are just examples of different stitch types. This is so horrible. But yeah, it's okay. This was my first time trying it, so that's fabulous actually. This I think is also drawn by me because it only has the singular stitches and the stitch length is all wrong. It's too long. But this was definitely not drawn by me, so I have been practicing digitizing with this one. Ooh! And this is actually from Embroidery Library. So I have tried Embroidery Library embroideries also, and I kind of like them also, but it's almost the same as buying from Urban Threads. It's just that Urban Threads is more punk rock, and if you're someone who embroiders, you know all about this. So the t-shirt got caught up into itself, and this is the back side of the t-shirt, and that's why I just cut it off from the actual t-shirt. Ooh! Hey! Weird! So this is the only freestanding lace I have ever made myself. I digitized this one, and like The next week, Urban Threads released a digitized mustache freestanding lace. I was like, no, you cannot do this to me. And this is the same as the previous one. Let me show you. Where did it go? Where did it go? Here. So this is the same logo, but it's all wrong. As you can see, I tried making it with a satin stitch, so the embroidery program was like, no, you cannot do that. And it made all these horrible lines because I tried using the satin stitch instead of the fill stitch. And I tried to use a font there, but I thought it was too hard to read, so I abandoned this idea and came up with this one. But this took so many stitches that I ended up not giving it to anyone. And once I tried this, this is a fabric that was like glued to a piece of paper, and then I could put it into my printer and it would print out what I wanted. And this is Death from Sandman Universe, Neil Gaiman. And here's something I drew a long time ago. This is digitized with either Wacom or Pulse, and this is digitized with this man who lives in Finland in Lahti. His name is Olli Vainio. He does amazing embroidery stuff, and he sells the embroidery software, so I was with him trying out how fantabulous the embroidery software was, and I love it. It's just amazing how well it turned out. But the embroidery software cost too much, so I didn't invest in it. And this is like someone's logo. I'm thinking they might be the type of people who are into middle age things. Well, they're into whiskey at least, but I think this is not the whiskey group logo. It's the other guys. So I made this for them, but they never made an order with me, so this is just something I practiced again. And I think it turned out okay. It had too many stitches for me to realistically make these for sale because it took forever to stitch out. And here's a logo of our local football team. And I cannot say which program this was made with. Could be Stitch Era, could be something else. But I think it's pretty. Looks okay. The stitches, I mean. Maybe these stripes could be satin stitches, but otherwise it's perfect. There's so many of these. I love this one. It's from Urban Threads. I don't remember which embroidery collection it was actually. but this is so pretty and you could do so many things with it. And I used to actually embroider many of these laces with black embroidery thread, and then I would spray paint them. So this is a spray painted one. This rose is also from Urban Threads, and this text was embroidered by me, digitized by me, and it just says Rose of Kotka, which is like some local thing. I lived in Kotka, and there's this idea of a Kotkan ruusu, the Rose of Kotka. And I think we're almost finished. There's so many bits and pieces here, oh my gosh. And I'm still struggling on which I can just throw away and which I have to keep for later use. Like, this is so big that I'm sure I will sometime make something that's so small that it can fit here. Here is when I tried this. In my embroidery program there was this ability where it should have been able to make gradient color, but I think it didn't come out as gradient as it should have. There's like teal and turquoise here, so. And again, so many freestanding laces. I was just baffled that there's some sort of situation here. Well, and this picture I love, this image I love. I think I have this embroidery design in 2 sizes. So this is the larger one, and I have it in a smaller size also, so I made like this sized embroidered patches and I sold them. They sold very well. Maybe I should do more of those. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed looking into the past with me. I actually love going through my stuff and making video diaries about it because I've been finding so many things about my past now. I actually started reading my previous blog, which is in Blogspot. So I have been reading what I've been doing like in 2006 or something, and it's funny that I had all the same problems that I have now. Like, I'm not drawing enough and I don't think I'm getting enough done, and still I can find the same sort of inspiration and the joy of making things. So it's been a very lovely read. So it's great to dig out your past sometimes. Now next I will be cleaning this whole place up. It's a pigsty. I need to start by vacuuming, and then I will be using the tip that I showed you guys in this video of using the cardboards and getting my fabrics all neat. So that's it for this video, for seriously now, and Thank you for stopping by. Don't forget to DIY. See you later.